Hi, welcome back to another cup of grace reading. And so I was coming, you know what, right, so I just got off work, right? And right maybe an hourish ago, there's a storm rolling through here. And well, actually, yeah. So there's like an hour ago, and the storm hit a local power box, and I could hear it, and it did make my power fluctuate and reset, right? And what's also interesting about this is that all day since I woke up this morning, which I actually woke up almost an hour before I had to be up, which, if you know me, is super remarkable because normally I'm not up until after 12, right? And I accepted a shift today that was at like 11:30, but I actually was waking up kind of like around 9:30 and just felt kind of lazy and just like took my time to wake up and get out of bed, which actually was super nice to be able to do, by the way. But every all day there's like this weird pressure behind my eyes and that was growing in my head. And since the storm, when the storm came through, it totally relieved and wiped away that pressure. So I don't know what was going on today, but something in that storm came and totally relieved me. So it's really just, sometimes it's amazing to me how, like, when I feel a certain type of way, or not always, but really like the last year or two, like the more I connect with the earth and the energy of Mother Nature, like whenever I feel a certain kind of way, I feel like these shifts in the weather, and that's always just really interesting to me. Well, so anyways, so that happened. And then I just got off work, right? And all of a sudden, I started getting this burst of energy. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I've been feeling for days like I wanted to do another reading, right? And then just now, Mimi, hold on. What's the matter with you? Are you crying? Don't cry, okay? I love you. That's my Mimi. This is the Mimi's. She's over here helping. Right, Mimi? Are you over here helping? She didn't want me to do a read today because she just like wants me to only talk to her. So yeah, that's okay. She doesn't like to share me, and that's all right. It's all right. It's her prerogative to be that way. So uh anyway, so like I was thinking, like, I do a lot of readings for like Virgo and Divine Femme because those are like energies that I personally resonate with a lot. But I have noticed that sometimes when I do readings that are for the masculines, that they do get views. And there have been a lot more divine masculines waking up lately, and I felt like, you know what, I want to do a reading for them as well because I want to encourage them to like keep waking up, to stay, not just wake up but stay awake. Don't give up on your journey. Don't give up on your path. Like, when you're very first waking up, sometimes it can be very difficult because a lot of times awakenings and or level ups come paired with storms in your life, like that storm today that rolled through and zapped that power box. Like, my power, it came right back, but it was a huge interruption in the middle of my workday, in the middle of what I'm doing. Like, it forced me to just stop, go reset my computer. And when I was trying to reboot my computer, Windows was like not wanting to reboot properly, and so I had to let it sit for a few more minutes and then reboot. So and then it was fine. I went through the rest of my shift just fine. But sometimes getting on your spiritual journey is just like that. Like, a storm will run through your life. It may cause you some brief interruptions, and then you just get right back on it. So it's like, but to some people, if you're not expecting that, like, I could hear that power box get zapped from like blocks away. I could hear it, and I was like, oh, heard that. So, like, uh, you know, um, depending on how your point of view or how you're approaching your journey, it may come off as feeling a little bit startling, sometimes a little bit scary. And I know with the masculine, sometimes they don't like to own up to being scared because that kind of like the ego, while they're wrestling with the ego, once as when you get used to taking the ego deaths, you're not going to care about looking scared or looking like anything. It's like being concerned about how you look, that's your ego talking, And as you keep taking your ego deaths and learn how to like sacrifice your ego, or not that you're sacrificing the ego like to give it up, but you're surrendering it to the divine flow of things, you know? So, you know, you're just accepting what's for you and what's not for you, you know, and that's okay. And picking up, we have wake up is, yeah, because that's what I felt. This is for the, all right, so this message is for you divine masculines that have already started to wake up. So, but the first, when I went to grab this deck and put it down here, this card fell out. So it came out, and I feel like this is what is your initial message from spirit, and it says manage to be glad. And it's talking about creating your own happiness regardless of conditions. So, you know, you're going through the spiritual awakening and you're realizing that you were trying to please everybody. So, but in the process of trying to make everybody else happy, you're having this moment where you realize that in doing all these things, you yourself in your own heart center haven't found happiness. Like, you like being useful, and that's validating in a sense, but in terms of what actually lights you up and has personal joy, like, I feel like you're having this moment that where you stop and realize, what about me? And I think all this time you thought you were happy, but possibly were just reflecting the happiness that other people were having when you'd make them happy. And now you're stopping to stop and look and say, but wait, is that really my happiness, or was I just enjoying their happiness all this time? So which part of this is actually my happiness? And I feel like for some of you, this message is coming out because, like, spirit is guiding you so that you can create your own happiness. Oh, well, usually this is like talks about mortality, talks about life being short, you know? This is maybe giving me a feeling like this people pleasing energy you were in it for a long time. And it was kind of making you feel crazy, but it also made you feel like comfortable because it seems like a lot of people that are in your life are also in this kind of crazy unhinged energy. So maybe like some of the other people around you are crazier. So it made you feel like a little bit like it wasn't so bad. Maybe you're also not realizing just quite how unhealthy or toxic these people actually are. Like, it seemed fine, you know, because you know sometimes we don't realize that what we're growing up with or what we've been living around, we get so comfortable and complacent in it that we don't realize, like people will tell you, oh, this is toxic or this is unhealthy, but sometimes when it's you and you're in it and it's your life, sometimes it's really hard to see where that wasn't good for you, you know. And it's a real wait, it's sometimes it feels like a rude awakening. Maybe that's where this wake up was. It was like you got a rude awakening that, like, maybe all these that there's a lot more mental illness going on around you than what you had realized. And it talks about you can't go back to yesterday. So, but I feel like this is giving me this feeling of, you know, you really need to be in the present, you know, but it's kind of making me feel like you don't even want to go back to yesterday. You really don't. It's not that you can't, but you really just don't want to. You're really done with that. Like, you're just leaving the yesterday behind, and that's good. So, you know, as you're moving forward in your journey, you know, part of your journey requires you to be present right now. To right now, it's like, what's in front of you right now? What do you want to do with it? Where do you want to see it go? And that's what we need to focus on. And you know, sometimes even as like a divine feminine, that's not always easy because I'm still healing parts of myself to get, you know, as a Virgo, I tend to get really like stuck in my head sometimes and kind of overthink and what do they call that? Uh Not vegetate, but vegetate, marinate. It's something. But you know, we get stuck in those thoughts. It talks about forgetting who you are. Maybe you did forget who you were, but now you've had that rude awakening. So now you're like, oh yeah, this is who I really am, and I've been sleeping on myself. And like for a while, I feel like there's a change coming up for you, and for a while you felt like it'd be impossible to find what was going to motivate you to make that change, and I feel like you found it. So whatever it was you were looking for, you found it. Even if you don't realize what it was, you found it, right? Yeah. All right. And then this right way. So this is me. I feel like also I feel like these four coming out upside down. Wow. And like Mimi's covering up your. Oh, Mimi's like no. And also, so all right, well, we'll just take Mimi as saying we're not going to focus on that part. Also, by the way, this is somebody else in your. I feel like this is somebody else in your energy in your life who's watching you go through this, and they're seeing that you're like this expression on her face, like peeking around something and like kind of not real happy. So I feel like this is somebody else in your life who sees that you're not willing to go back to how it was, and they are really not happy. And it's like this person is so concerned about your shift that it's making them forget themselves. They feel like if you really leave and make this change on them, that life will be impossible for them. But they also are not, they can see that you're creating what you desire, and they see that this is the right way for you, and they can see this. Mimi, you can't lay all over this reading, bro. No, 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 no. Come on. No, no, come on. Girl, stop it, bro. No, stop. Come on. You see how, like, she wanted to be in here, now she doesn't want to move? Dude, that's the energy of this person, dude. This person who had these upside down cards, dude, there's somebody in your. Mimi, respect the space, bro. Respect the space. You can't just stay right there. That's very disrespectful, Mimi. Have some manners, bro. It's not your turn yet. You were just having a turn. You guys, Mimi is not unloved, okay? She is like a spoiled brat. Um, she gets like upteen treats and wet foods and all kinds of stuff, dude. She lives a great life. Don't. But this, so you know what? I feel like the way that Mimi came and laid on these cards and was like, yeah, no, I don't want you, we don't want to look at this. Dude, that's this person's energy. There's somebody in your life who's like, they're trying to shut this out. They don't want you to look at this. They don't want you to go this way. They just want you to stay where you were. Yeah, see, and look, there's still one more card back here that this other person, this other person feels that what you're doing isn't fair to them. But you know what? You have to live your life. You know what? You can't live your life for other people. You can't live your life to please other people, because you know what? You have the right to be happy, and you have the right to be loved. And the fact that this person wants you to stay in the situation, even though you're unhappy with it, it's like, do they really care about you? Because if they really cared about you, they should want you to be happy and not just them, right? So, and then we also have follow the right rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. So I feel like in order to turn all this around, you're about to meet somebody and or have recently met somebody who's helping you to become braver. And being braver is giving you the courage to set your own course. And we're going to stop reading from this deck, and I'm going to swap, because now it's going back to this other person. This other person's energy is really trying to come through in your reading, so I'm going to swap decks. So now, well, we're seeing where you're at. See, and this upside down butterfly, it's coming out for this other person. They feel like it's the end of their era, but this is not their reading. This is your reading, not theirs. Stop it, you. We rebuke this energy in Jesus' name. You have not been invited in here. You have not been invited to be a part of this reading. We command you to leave this space right now. Don't be over here telegraphing your energy to me, dude. I'm going to kick you right the fuck out of here. If you want your own reading to talk about your feelings, then you need to go get that. We're not here to acknowledge you. I already have Divine Feminine readings, and I don't read for karmics, so that's what. Maybe you should stop interfering with this person exercising their free will. How about that? How about that? Because we all have a free will, and we're all entitled to it. And you are not entitled to interfere with other people's free will just because you don't know what to do with yourself without them. Maybe you should have considered your codependency when you were busy backstabbing this person, huh? Maybe instead of treating this person like crap, you should appreciate what they do for you. Because now they're about to leave, and you're like, oh, no, they can't leave because of X, Y, and Z. Well, how come X, Y, and Z wasn't important to you when you were busy disrespecting this person and discarding them and devaluing them and making them feel like nothing they do is good enough for you? How about that? So now we are going to look at first I was going to use the butterfly deck because we're going to look at what life changes you should be making to help yourself through this process. But then I felt like maybe I should do swap, because you know what? Like, that person's energy wanted to come through from the beginning. Maybe I'll just like tap that deck or put it in the spiritual bathtub. Usually I cleanse my cards, and I have like a cleansing process I put my cards through. So they should have been cleansed and good, but I'm just going to not read with those and put them in the card tub. So I don't know. It bothers me that their energy was wanting to come through there right away. And it's like, no, this is not your reading. Exactly. A new world is born. Exactly. You're coming into this new life. And look at that dragonling garden. So you may be somebody who strongly resonates with dragons. You have been awarded a mighty shield. You're going to be given beetle armor. Yeah, in the Sea of Tears. So you're not even feeling abandoned. I actually feel like if you feel any abandonment you feel is like you feel like you abandoned yourself. Yeah. Now you're going to be like more committed to loving yourself. And it, like, if this person comes back to try and make you feel like you need to choose, you're going to be like, bitch, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing me. Yeah, you need some space from this person. That person is just being too much for you. You're going to find solutions in unknown places in the darkness. So you know what? Finding solutions in unknown places and in the darkness, this means that, like, your solutions you really need, it's going to come from an unexpected place. Yeah. Says time to say goodbye. It says upside down because you're saying goodbye to them, but you're actually saying hello to yourself. There's going to be a safe place to go, and Brother Raccoon is going to show you. What do we have over here? Yeah, I'm going to skip. We're going to move to another deck. There's a whole bunch of reversal energy, and I'm rejecting their reversal energy here. I'm just going to shuffle these anyways, and let's see what they say. So let's shift away from like what you have going on. Okay, we're clear on what's been going on. You're obviously going through an awakening and somebody don't like it. Oh well, that's too bad. Yeah, you're going to get a new career. So I don't know if you've been taking time. So it says get some rest, but it's upside down. So like maybe you're already getting rest, and or that other person in your life wants you to give what you're doing a rest, which don't listen to them. Okay, don't listen to that person. I don't listen to them at all. You have your own choices to make. Welcome to your new you. We just saw that with the Dragonling, and now this card has echoed it. So I'm about to wrap this up because once the cards start echoing each other, that's it. They're just going to keep getting the same messages. You're getting heavenly signs about the decisions you need to make. Go ahead and make them. Don't worry about this person. You know what? Don't worry about this person because you know what? They're just worrying about themselves. Yeah, you are gracefully aging. Yeah, don't worry about that person. Yeah. You know what? You have support is here. You're going to get support from the spirit realm to help you as you go on this path. Don't worry about this person. They have to go have their own journey. Yeah, you're going through some changes in your body right now, probably because of aging, you know. That's how it goes. We all get older. Yeah, welcome to the new, New you. It's a new day. Yep. And you're finding the motivation to do this as well. So good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, that's good. Good for you. Oh, you're doing some grief work. So maybe you've had people who were dear to you, who you've lost. You know what? If you haven't taken the time to process the people that you lost in your life, you should do yourself a favor and do that, you know? Like, sometimes in our society, people make men feel like it's not okay to really grieve and be sad and to go through the things. But it's really important to let this stuff out, you know? You can't just bottle it up, because bottling it up is just going to repress it and it'll be there in your subconscious, always haunting you. So it's better to just take some time, give yourself some space to feel it so you can release it. And if they're really dear to you where it's hard to let them go, then you need to find a way that you can actively remember them in your everyday life periodically. So that way you can kind of let them go so that you can heal from the grief. But just also know that there is no timestamp on grieving. You know, you could have lost somebody yesterday. It could have been like last week, last month, 10 years ago. No matter how much time passes, and I can tell you this is so true, because like even when like with my dad and my grandfather, like those are losses I've never stopped feeling since they happened. You know, but I've gotten better at carrying them. It's like I heard this like in The Walking Dead. There was like this one episode, I forget the character's name, but like her sister had died, and when they got to the town that has the governor in it, she was talking about it, and she was like, well, she's like, you never go back to feeling the same again. You just learn how to carry it, you know? And I feel like that's really true of grief. I'm going to take this. So that's really true of grief. You know what? Sometimes like you just learn how to carry it, you know? And it maybe you didn't take the time to learn how to do that. And so spirit's sitting you down. You're going to realize your finances. Maybe you can't afford to not do the grief work anymore because it's poisoning your body. Like I feel like the damage in your body to this other person in your life is really trying to like get into your reading. I'm not gonna let them. I'm not gonna let them. I already said no. Decisions, yeah. Decisions, ain't it? Huh? But yeah. So this not grieving is causing your body. Yeah, you have a new career coming up, so you're gonna make a career change. Yeah, see, healing from the past is like, you know what? Oh, now there's some realizations and epiphanies going on. The heal, like, there's, you know what? I feel like there's something from the past that needs to be healed, but you have to release it in order to heal from it. You are stronger than you think. So, but this wanted to be upside down. So I feel like maybe you're just like not believing in yourself. You're just not seeing your own strength. Why are you not believing in yourself? Welcome to the new you. You are stronger than you know. Give yourself a hug, dude. Give yourself a break. Jeez. Stop being so hard on yourself, bro. There's a windfall. So you're going to get a financial blessing. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. It's going to be all right, dude. You're going to get through this, okay? I know your finances feel upside down, but you got that windfall coming. It's going to be okay. It is. It's going to be okay. Retirement. Oh, well, maybe you're going to get into a new job that's going to help you be able to retire soon, or so that you can like put an end to retire this part of your life that's seeking and finding. So maybe you were looking for this opportunity and you're going to find it when you stop looking for it. So like you were looking for something and it's going to come in when you're not looking for it. Which ain't that how it always happens? Dude, that happens all the time. I'll like look for stuff obsessively. Yeah, support is here. I'm telling you, you got spiritual support coming in, and some family changes. Yep, there's going to be family changes because whoever this other person is, they gotta go. They gotta go. Sorry, girl, you gotta go. Yep, it's a sea change. This person is in the crossroads, and the divine is not going to allow you to interfere with this spiritual rebirth. Sorry. It's not going to happen. I can just tell you right now that I just know that it's not going to happen. It's not, we're not, the days of karmic partners being able to stop people from having their awakenings is over with. It's over with. The days of people interfering with other people's free will is also over with. It's a new day here, friends. It is a new day. All right. So we'll take that and we'll take this. These are my divine doorways. So divine masculine, because you're going through like this rebirth. So I thought I'd pull for you. You got these doorways. These are divine doorways, right? So let's first open this door, which is called deeper. And it says, you are not finished. You are not yet done. Dig deeper, and the best is to come. Hold on, hold on. So hang in there, okay? Don't give up. Don't give up. Now we have the smaller door. And this is called the distant dream. Oh, that's so pretty. So the distance calls your heart to roam free. And as you dare dream it, so must it be. And I feel like these go together. So you're being encouraged to like dig deeper. You're going through this spiritual awakening, right? So as you're going through your awakening, and it's making you realize what your heart really desires, which is this dream. This dream, and by the way, that card that was upside down from that other person, which, where is it? The right way. This talks about creating the life that you desire. So this is this. You're going to see this, and you need to dig deeper and figure out what it is you want, because then it's going to happen, okay? But in order for these to come in, you have to take that time and realize what it is that, you have to be able to put a name on what's going to make you happy, and you don't need somebody else to give it to you. You can give it to yourself. You just have to figure out what that is first. And I feel like whoever this person was in your life, that's not it. I don't know. I don't think I know you or your situation, but I can tell you that was not it. I don't know. I'm just picking up that that's not it, and I'm pretty clairvoyant, so I can. Here, we'll also give you, to wrap this up, I'll give you a fortune cookie card. I was going to wrap it up with the divine doorway, but I feel like I should give you the fortune cookie also. Fortune cookies, yay. Oh, I only have 3 minutes left. I better hurry up. We have opportunities. And you have a stranger is about to change your life. I just told you that. Exciting times and plenty of action, plus a special family reunion looks likely. So somebody you haven't seen in a long time, you're going to get together with somebody, and maybe they'll help introduce you to the stranger who's going to open up all this change for you. And you're going to have some personal riches coming in, which remember earlier we saw with the windfall. So be encouraged. Don't give up. These good things are going to turn around for you. Okay? And have a great weekend.